And let it out with a deep sigh. Like the last day of school, you've taken your last exams, you've turned in your final papers, you come home, you throw the book bag in the corner, you flop back on the bed, take a deep breath. Just letting all that go. And one more. Letting the eyes naturally close. Letting the hands rest, just relaxed in the lap or on the knees. At any point, if you feel you need to adjust how you're sitting to be comfortable, you need to scratch your nose or whatever, just that's fine. We just be natural. We just leave everything as it is. The body's already resting in the seat. Thanks to gravity, the seat holds all of our weight, every ounce of it. So there's no work involved in sitting. Anytime we happen to notice, oh yeah, sitting just takes care of itself. I don't have to do a thing. It's great. And just as sitting, gravity take care of themselves, the senses take care of themselves. Oh yeah, hearing is happening. Huh, funny, I didn't try to hear. It just happens. Sensations might happen. Feeling the room is cool or warm, feeling this part of your body or that part is tight or loose. Yeah, I didn't try to do that. Hearing just happens all by itself. Feeling happens all by itself. It's completely automatic, effortless ease of natural experiencing. Nothing special about it. It's what's been going on in every moment of our lives. Only for once we're surrendering to this naturalness. We're not trying to turn it into anything else. Just leaving it as it is. Perhaps some seeing goes on even with the eyes, the eyelids closed, some colors dancing behind the eyelids. Subtly. Perhaps not. Whatever it is, it's automatic. We don't have to work at it. We don't even have to notice it. So, nothing for us to do but rest in the middle of all this natural experiencing. Just kick back. Just remain as this naturally wide open space of experiencing within which all this, the feeling, the hearing, everything is experienced. All this stuff that comes and goes, all the sensations and sounds, sort of like different characters coming and going on a stage. But we just remain as the open space of the stage, the open space within which they all come and go. The open space we call awareness. And of course, the open space of the stage never lifts a finger to help the actors move around or prevent them from moving around. Open space doesn't have any fingers to move. So we just remain like that. Natural, effortless openness within which stuff comes and goes all by itself. Naturally, thoughts come and go within this open space of awareness. And we can notice that the comings and the goings of thoughts are exactly like sounds or sensations or colors. They show up within this space all by themselves with no work from us. And in their own time, they move on with no work from us. And when the thought is present, fine. When the thought is absent, equally fine. Just stuff coming and going within the space. No work being done. And the space doesn't mind whether there's a few thoughts or many thoughts. Intelligent, noble thoughts, totally stupid thoughts, doesn't matter. When we think, hey, that's a good thought, or hey, that's a dumb thought, that's just another thought. And we treat all the thoughts like they're in some language that we don't even speak. Just some blah blah coming and going. Perfect. Just like the sound of the fountain outside the window or the crickets in the bushes. It's fine. All we do is rest as this natural, open space of awareness. Within which everything comes and goes all by itself. Within which everything comes and goes frictionlessly. Nothing that shows up on the stage can disturb or injure the space. Nothing that shows up can improve the space. So we remain as that space. Ordinary, everyday awareness. Only for once completely resting in that awareness, completely resting as that awareness. Naturally, feelings may arise within this open space of awareness. And please notice that feelings are exactly like anything else, like thoughts, sounds, sensations, just more stuff coming and going within this frictionless space, all by itself. We didn't exert any effort to have the feeling, to have it arrive. We don't exert any effort to have it go away in its own sweet time. And it doesn't matter what the feelings are, just as it doesn't matter what the thoughts or the sounds or the sensations are. Feelings of joy, feelings of depression, feelings of restlessness, feelings of contentment. Doesn't matter how you feel. Because no feeling affects the boundless space of awareness. Just one more thing passing frictionlessly through it. Even if we feel that, oh, gee, I went off on this long train of thoughts. Now I have to get back. There's nowhere you have to get back to. You've always been right here. All these thoughts have been right here, happening right in this expanse of awareness. Where else could they be? So when that happens, you just relax back into this open space. Don't try to do anything about the thoughts you were just now on. That's already past. And if you find yourself like really embroiled in something, really feeling tangled up in a thought, a feeling, just relax your grip on it. That's simple. Don't try to resolve it or get rid of it. Relax your grip on it, relax back into this open space of awareness, which is always right here. This open space of awareness that has no color, no sound, no borders, no texture. No anything. And no distance from us. Always right here. In fact, always right us. So relaxing into this borderless, textureless space of awareness is relaxing into ourselves. Right here. Now keep the eyes closed. And take a few minutes to gently start bringing the body back to a more active state. Maybe shifting around a little bit in your seat. Maybe stretching your limbs, twisting your trunk. Maybe squeezing your hands or rubbing your face a little, getting the blood going again. And then after a couple of minutes, when you feel ready, when the body feels ready, you can start to slowly open the eyes. We always want to ease out gently like this. Okay, how are people doing? Good? Any questions or observations tonight? I have empowered you to unmute yourselves. Everybody's good. I see Beth has joined us. Hi, Beth. Nice to see you as always.
Dean?
Yes, Larry.
I've had a question I wanted to ask for a little while. It relates to the question of why am I wasting 8 hours every night, actually 6 to 7 hours every night, not doing something that would contribute to relaxing into awareness, like at night, like when I go to sleep. And I've read your chapter in Natural Meditation about one technique that you, no, I don't, not a technique, but a way to relax into awareness when you are going to sleep. And I wonder if you could unpack that technique just a little bit more.
What's the technique?
Well, where you see the little
I think I give several of them in that chapter.
Well, there's only one in that chapter about sleep that I remember, and
Oh,
that's the one where you just see a little light.
oh,
You
yeah, yeah,
see a
yeah, 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 yeah.
little, you just see a little light when your eyes are closed,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
I was
you
thinking
kind
of,
of,
yeah. There's also a sleep chapter in the next book in Fear Less where I give a few techniques. But yeah, that one that's good stuff. Um, okay, and good night, Pat. Good night, Regan. Happy birthday. Um, yeah. Um, first of all, I mean, I totally get what you're saying. Oh, sleep just seems like such a waste of time. You know, that's that song. Who needs sleep? Uh, it could just seem so boring. There's so many more fun things to do than spending a third of your life comatose. But the Dharma takes that on. The Dharma takes everything on. If it doesn't, it's not the Dharma. Okay, and by the way, just kind of to broaden this out for a moment, I mean that's a good principle there, which is that uh, if the Dharma is what it's supposed to be, if the I'm using that in the biggest sense, if the enlightenment, the way of enlightenment is indeed the way of enlightenment, it has to encompass everything. It has to address everything. So no question is outside of this inquiry. None. Okay. So sleep. Um, Sleep is an opportunity. The awakening teachings, the Dharma teachings, approach sleep the way they approach everything, as an opportunity to, you should pardon the expression, awaken. Okay. Um, and as I think I explained this pretty clearly in that chapter, the one of the hallmarks of really kind of advanced enlightenment is that um, th- our experience, what the kind of the definition of enlightenment, right? To really reduce it to an equation is, the we have the three usual states of consciousness, right? Waking, dreaming, deep sleep, dreamless sleep. In meditation, we've added the fourth state, transcendence, which, aka restful alertness, aka wakeful hypometabolic state, okay, the state of silent awareness. And then as we continue to meditate, integrate meditation and activity, more and more we start finding that that's there, that at least some flashes or some flavor of the transcendence of the fourth state is there underlying the our activity during the day, there in the background. And by the way, we call it a state because at first it seems the fourth state seems like a state. It's just something that happens, sometimes in meditation, occasionally out of meditation. The more we get immersed into it, the clearer it becomes. It's not actually a state; it's a background to the changing states. It's the open space of the theater. All the activity, all the characters running around, arguing, have dueling, blah blah blah. Hamlet, Polonius, Laertes, whatever. They kill each other. They love each other. They die. All that happens on the stage. That's waking, dreaming, sleeping. But really, the fourth so-called state, Turiya, is the transcendental state, is really the space within which they happen. So as that becomes more and more clear, it's more and more that seen to not be a state. It's seen to be there all the time, actually outside of time, right? Now that means not only there's the background to waking and dreaming, but also the background of sleeping. So in kind of really advanced, mature, super clear enlightenment, sleep, deep sleep, is witnessed. Deep sleep is witnessed by transcendental, silent, boundless awareness. It's there against the background, let's say, of transcendental, boundless, silent awareness, just as waking and dreaming are there against that background. Okay, so that makes the sleep state a very a golden opportunity to cultivate enlightenment. Okay, it's an important part of the program, and so in particular that technique that which I didn't make up. I mean, that's from my teachers, and I'm not that smart. Um, it's that technique is what it is for a particular reason, right? And it's, I wouldn't say a little light. I think you threw that adjective in there. Um, um, there's when we close our eyes, and we can do this right now. You close your eyes. Is it totally dark? No, there's some sense of light. There's some sense of color. You don't have to imagine it. You don't have to look for it. It's there. Okay, whatever that is. Whatever that is, it's never total darkness. Whatever it is, you just rest your gaze on that. You just rest your gaze in that light, and then keep doing that as you're falling asleep. Keep doing that as you're falling asleep. And if you continue to do that, you may start to experience that there's some change, some transformation in your experience of sleep. That somehow, as Rupert Spira so beautifully puts it, sleep is not the absence of awareness; it's the awareness of absence. Okay, if that makes things okay, looks like that's not making it clear to you. Forget about it. Come back to that. Come back to that one another time. It's the awareness. We could say it's the awareness. It's awareness coexisting with absence of mental, physical, emotional activity. So in that sense, it's the awareness of absence. It's not the absence of awareness. So that light that we're gazing into, that natural light that lies before us, that we gaze into as we fall asleep, that becomes kind of like the night light. You know, when you're a kid and, I don't want the room to be so dark, but Mom, could you put on a night light? Right? So that's the night light, and we just, as much as we can, we just stay with that light as we go into sleep. And that starts kind of becoming the cue for the nervous system to find the way to keep the little night light of awareness going. I'll use that word little, but it's I don't want to characterize it, but it's some kind of light of awareness that to some degree continues there. And it's very subtle the way this, some of you, I want to go to the gallery view to see if this is ringing a bell for people, because I know, everyone here has been meditating for a while, whether it's weeks or months or years, that you've had some of this sense of the quality of sleep changing. And sometimes it's hard, it's subtle, it sneaks up on you, it's hard to pin it down, but somehow, just that, like the oblivion is not quite so thick. Maybe we can put it that way. The oblivion is not quite so thick. And you may also find that the quality of dreaming starts to change. That is quite common when people really are meditating regularly, and it happens with more intensity, of course, when you go on retreat and you're meditating for hours a day. For one thing, because you're kicking up the release of a lot of stress, and that can be expressed as dreaming. Can sometimes be strange dreams or intense dreams. Some people, after they've been meditating for a while, will have things that it's really hard to classify. Should I call this a dream? Maybe they have different kinds of qualities of things of just kind of really expansive experiences, because just you're your thinking mind is, it's like your guard is down, so to speak. The guardrails are gone, and some kinds of really expansive, really sublime or transcendental experiences can sometimes kind of overtake you somewhere in the region of sleep and dream, uh, sometimes more readily than they would when you're awake. So just know all this is possible, and it's all great, it's all fine, and would just be open to it. Larry, is that helpful?
Yes, um, I like the concept of the nightlight. That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I think you described it in a way that I just, I think I can relax. It's not so techniquey as I thought it was.
Yeah,
It's,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Right,
it's,
and and that's great, and I'm happy to hear you arriving at that understanding kind of on your own there. Uh, Pretty much that applies to all the stuff. It's all not so techniquey. To talk about, when we talk about it, necessarily it can like sound techniquey, but it's like anything. I mean, I'm sure there's hundreds of things like that in doctoring. When you first have to
oh yeah.
explain, right? You as a medical student, okay, you take the clamp and the rheostat and the scalpel, and it's like 17 things to keep track of all at once. And then when you really grok the thing, when you really imbibe it, it's oh you do that, right? It's simple, you know. So like that. I
Thank
mean,
you.
yeah, you're very welcome. Thank you. And really kind of good exercise is try to try to explain to someone who's never done it, without any visual aids, without using your hands, and without drawing a picture, and without a shoe there. Try to explain how to tie one's shoelaces, right? It's like really hard. It seems like it's this really complicated thing, right? And all these steps are, and then but after you've done it a few times, it's just you tie your shoelaces.
Well, I'm going to go say goodnight and try this out right now.
All right, go. Sweet,
Thanks,
sweet,
Dean.
sweet. Yeah, you bet. Sweet dreams.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay. Anything else tonight on anyone's mind? Okay, I actually have something that I've been thinking about that I would like to introduce. Um, that I'm going to use you all as some guinea pigs on this one. Um, okay, so hang on a second. Okay, so you've all heard me say many times that when we're in meditation, when you find yourself um, wrestling with something, whether it's a thought or a feeling, anything, wrestling with it, resisting it, hanging on to it, anything like that, to just relax your grip on it. Okay? As many times as necessary. So in a given meditation, you may once have to relax your grip on something, maybe, 100 times. Either way is fine. It's just whatever depends on what's going on. So we're all familiar with what that feels like. What that, we're gripping the thing, trying to get rid of it, trying to hold on to it, wrestling with it, and then we relax the grip. So I'm demonstrating this physically, but we all know what that feels like mentally. neurologically, really. It's deep. It's in the nervous system. That. So what I'd like to invite you to do in this little exercise is we're just sitting here comfortably, just keeping the eyes open for now. And just recall that feeling of, in meditation, of being kind of caught up in something. A thought, an emotion, whatever it is. Just recall that feeling and just kind of really recall it viscerally. Recall it in your nervous system, that feeling. And now recall the feeling of relaxing your grip on it. Okay? Everyone with me? Yeah, okay? Let's do that again. Really re-experience that. Not just thinking about it abstractly, but just like kind of summon up that feeling of hanging on to the thing or pushing, you're knocking your head against it, trying to push the thought away, whatever it is that, and then just relax your grip on it. Okay? And let's do it again. And okay, everyone with me so far? Any questions so far? Simple. Okay. Now what I'd like you to do is please, as we sit here, we're looking into whatever room you're in, just lightly imagine, and none of this is work, none of this is, we're trying hard to visualize or something, just in a very easygoing way. Think of maybe a person with whom sometimes you get into situations where it's a similar feeling. It's a feeling of, right? Could be someone very close to you. Could be someone you love, right? Very often it is. Maybe someone that you live with, living together with anyone has challenges. So it might be a roommate or a spouse or a partner or something. And if not, maybe, someone you deal with in your work, or just someone where you get into situations where you feel it's that same kind of feeling in the nervous system, same kind of feeling in the body, in the chest, stomach, wherever it is. Okay? We don't have to get too specific. Oh, yeah, last week we argued about, which way to put the ice cream away in the freezer, whatever it is. But if you did have that argument, you know what that feeling is, right? Whatever it is. If you can use something like that, you happen to remember to help you summon the feeling, okay. So just imagine some situation, defined or undefined, with the person, like that other person is here in the room with you, and you're in one of those situations, and you're in that place with them, and then you relax your grip. Relax back into that ease. Now the person's still there. The other person has not necessarily changed anything. We're not waiting for them to tell us, hey, you were right. This is the way to put away the ice cream. Right? They don't, let's just say they haven't necessarily changed. Nothing's changed except that the way we're gripping, just the same way that I'm, gripping the stick here, we've been like putting our grip around them, putting our grip around our desire and our requirement that they be a certain way, that they agree with us, or whatever it is, or start doing this, or stop doing that, right? That gripping, and we relax our grip around them. Let's do that again. So again, feeling, gripping, yeah, you gotta, you should, or you shouldn't, and then, Just relax the grip around the person. Relax the grip around the situation. Okay? Let's do that one more time. And then, Okay? Everyone still with me? Any questions so far? Okay. So let's go a little bigger with this. Let's go beyond the little whatever tussle about putting the ice cream in the freezer to maybe some bigger situation in your life. You know, maybe some more on, not just some passing thing, maybe some bigger, maybe it involves another person, maybe it's just an issue about your health or your work or your home or your relationship, anything, some bigger, more ongoing situation with which maybe quite a bit you find yourself doing that, tightening up around it, really wanting it or requiring it to change. Okay? So let's do that. Just whatever you come up with. And then, again, notice the same feeling. Totally different thing, but the same feeling. And just really get into the feeling of, oh, God damn it. It keeps being like this. And then, just relaxing your grip around it. Relaxing into the, giving all that space around it. Allowing all the spaciousness, allowing it to breathe out, allowing this yourself and the situation to breathe out into the spaciousness around it. Okay, and then again, it's very important to feel both of these equally, to really know what they feel like, I think. So again, tightening up around that situation, gripping it. Oh God, I gotta keep it like this. I can't, or I gotta push it away, or I gotta, whatever. I gotta, it's gotta, and, right? Just letting that infinite, cool, open, textureless space around the situation open up. Okay? Everyone still on the train? Okay. So let's go bigger. Let's take the national situation, the world situation, right? Let's take all the insane stuff going on with the politics, the climate, whatever you got, the economy, whatever. All the fucking crazy stuff going on in the planet. And, you know, you don't have to do a lot of imagining probably to summon up the feeling of tightness around that. Right? Okay? And maybe you've been trying to avoid that. Maybe we've been trying to deny that. Maybe it's, you know, it's not fun to feel that. But for the sake of this exercise, allow yourself to feel that. And notice it's the same feeling. It's the same feeling that, God, just really, just, oh my God, really. And then relax the grip on that. Relax the grip on that whole thing, that whole global situation. Completely allowing the spaciousness, the cool, clear air of textureless space to be open around it. Let's do it again. Oh, here's that. Oh God, here's that crap. Just, just holding on to it, the banging your head against it, whatever. We know this feeling all too well. But not try to turn away from it. Just completely experience what that's like. Really feel that in your nervous system. Really feel it down to your bones and the marrow of your bones. And relax your grip on it. Let it go 360 degrees in all directions, north, south, east, west, top, bottom, out into endless space. And one more time. One more time. You can do it. One more time. Three's the number. Just completely off. And totally totally letting it go. Okay, how we doing? Talk to me. I'd like some feedback on this one. Somebody tell me something. Yes, please, Dorothy, unmute yourself. Step into the witness box.
Dean, I really, really needed that. The timing was perfect because, and I find myself in the morning, I'm going to do this tomorrow morning. Usually when I wake up in the morning, just, I don't know, everything's here.
Yeah.
And I was even thinking I have to do something.
Yes.
You know, I'm going to feel this way. So tomorrow I'm just going to be relaxing my grip. And that will help me get into the day and to focus on, you know, being grateful, as opposed to, that's when it hits me the hardest, when I wake up in the morning thinking of, you know, everything that's going on in the world, in our country, and especially what's coming up in the next, you know, few weeks. We're all going to have to be relaxing our grip. Otherwise, I'm not going to make it. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
and,
like in the cartoons where the character, like, you know, the steam starts coming out of their ears, or like little springs and sprockets start boing, boing, coming out of their skull. Yeah, like that.
Yeah. So it was a really, and you know, when you were doing it initially, I was thinking I was going to make the comment, like, we really need that now. You have to really focus. I have to focus on relaxing my grip, because otherwise it's just, you know, it's such an unfortunate, there's so many unfortunate things going on right now.
Yeah.
And I want to try to remain positive and also optimistic. You know, Dan, who's one of the most positive people in the world, you know, he goes, I'm going to choose to be optimistic and positive until proven wrong.
Yeah.
And, you know, with everything that's coming up in the election and everything. So I'm just going to remain positive. My mom had a saying, you know, she raised 12 kids, and she used to say, you know, we worry about things that never end up happening.
Yep.
And so I really try to focus on that every day, like until something really happens. And also, I was just telling a friend today about you, how, you know, you say that all of this meditation is dress rehearsal for when shit hits the fan.
Right.
And you're right. I can't tell you how many times that, you know, it hits the fan for me, but I say, okay, this is what Dean's been, you know, for almost 3 years now. This is what Dean's been trying to teach me. And I want to learn, and I want to put it into practice.
Yeah.
And it works, Dean.
Yeah.
It really helped me.
Yeah. Thank God. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I want to thank you.
I know I know how lost I would be without
Yeah,
this stuff.
yeah.
So
I
yeah,
mean, I think people would just be you just be angry all the time.
yeah,
And I don't want to go through life being angry. I want to
no,
be go through life being grateful.
yeah,
And so when I focus on that and just focus on being present at this moment, everything's okay.
mm-hmm,
And try not to think about my, what might happen. It might not even happen.
mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm, yeah, yeah.
that was my 2 cents worth, Dave.
Good, thank you. Yeah,
Well,
no,
thank
no, thank
you.
you. And also, I wanted to mention something you said that I really liked hearing was you saying, well, for me, it really happens when I first wake up in the morning. See, and you're doing something very valuable there, which is you're paying attention to
Mhm.
how this stuff works in your life.
Yeah,
Because some of this stuff is going to be kind of the same for all of us, same basic principles, but then the specific applications of the principles is not going to be one size fits all.
right, right. And I always think like in life, when you have a problem. So like I said, mine is when I wake up in the morning, I don't want to feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
And so I always think there's a solution and you just sort of have to try to find the solution. You might not find the whole solution,
Mm-hmm.
but at least a part of the solution.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so that's going to be part of my solution
Good.
tomorrow,
Good.
relaxing my grip.
Relax the grip. Okay. Excellent. Good. Thanks so much.
Well, thank you.
Good. Let me hear from someone else. I really would like to get feedback from, yeah, Peter, please.
Well, for me, anxiety is a real issue.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah, there's been a lot of avoidance of thinking about the national situation, for example.
Mm-hmm.
I don't watch the news
Mm-hmm.
intentionally.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to feel the way I feel when I watch the news.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I found it hard to do your exercise.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I don't know why, but
Now, were you?
I couldn't get myself worked up into that state.
Uh-huh. Okay.
I think because I don't want to.
Right. Okay. Okay. And did you find that that was the case only in the third part, the global part, or was it also true in the individual part and the interpersonal part?
Yeah, also true in all
Mm-hmm.
parts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Okay.
I mean, there was a certain good feeling of letting it go,
Yeah.
but I didn't feel like I was fully engaged in the exercise
Yeah.
somehow.
Okay. So maybe this one's not for you at this time,
Yeah, yeah.
or maybe exactly what you got from it right now is, maybe that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Good. And again, as I say, it's not one size fits all. So cool. So thank you. It's very valuable for me to hear all
Uh,
of this.
I
Yeah.
think I'm a more functional and useful person if I stay out of anxiety.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah. Okay. Good. Let me hear from I want to hear from Marie and then Laura. So yeah, Marie, you can unmute yourself.
For me, it felt like freedom for a minute, like distancing, gaining space. And, it really worked on all three exercises,
Mm-hmm.
all of them. But I think we have to be so vigilant to do this so many times because it only lasts probably a little while
Mm.
for the next time. But it felt great. It felt like this is a tool I will definitely use.
Good. 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 Yeah. And I would say, as with all this stuff, at first it may only last for a little while, and then it may last for a little longer. And ultimately, all this stuff is we get to where it lasts and lasts, and then we don't have to do any of this stuff anymore.
I also say that something like what Peter said. Also, I avoid lots of news
Yeah.
because it's so disturbing all the time. I don't watch news. I read whatever I choose in the newspapers and on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
The
Yeah.
safe way that we're not so exposed to it
Yeah.
visually. so on.
And I think and in your case and in Peter's case, in the case of a lot of people, I mean, it's another instance of what I was saying to Dorothy. That's wisdom of knowing what works for you. Um, I mean, first of all, I think it's great wisdom to know that we have a choice. You're not obligated to keep up with every news story. That all the stories will go on very well without you. They don't. A lot of people feel that, oh, I have to read every story. I have to, or and that's going to go on without you. You're not you're not you're not making it better by reading it all and getting stressed by it. Now, some people can read the news even when it's pretty horrific, and it's not that they're insensitive or cold or callous. Some people, it just doesn't stress them out. And then they can do that. But that's just, again, just different people are wired differently.
But I also have to say that, being in your classes and, meditating regularly, it has helped me with other issues that are not so painful, not so generally, not to get involved, be in the space where, you allow things without getting too involved. So that's a gift of this, of your meditation.
Yeah, good. I love hearing that. I do want to say, kind of to everyone here, to, whether or not you felt that you really connected with this exercise tonight, be a little bit alert as you go through your day tomorrow and the next day and the next day, to notice whether, like, if you find yourself in a conversation with someone and you're realizing you're tightening up around it, you're tightening up around a certain expectation, a certain requirement, see whether, and then you realize, oh, this is now, I've done this exercise. This is the thing, I've done the drill for this, and you can, but now in reality, you can be having that conversation and see if you can, oh, now I've had some practice, I can do this. I can relax the grip on that situation and continue to have the conversation, and see if the conversation, when you relax your grip on it, see if it goes better or worse. See if your ability to deal skillfully with the situation is enhanced or deteriorated. I'm going to predict your ability to deal skillfully becomes enhanced. Okay. So, okay, let me hear from Laura and then Kelly. Yes, Laura, please. You're still muted.
Okay, there we go.
There you are.
Incredibly profound. I felt I had no idea where you were going. I just thought, okay, well, maybe it was going to be we were going to hum or, I had no idea. And it was a very smooth transition from this place of, I'm a little uncomfortable, to this place of, heart beating, could feel my eyes tearing up a little bit. I mean, it was really powerful. And the release each time was great. And what occurred to me is, last night I was watching the news at night, which you probably should never do. And I was talking to my husband and I said, I can't stand it. I said, I think I just need to expect the worst, that's how I have to get through these next few weeks. I just, and this was such a nice, it was exactly what I needed to hear. I don't have to expect the worst. I mean, it's not the only way to get through
Yes.
some of this horror that we're all.
Yeah. You don't have to expect the worst, and you don't have to expect the best.
Right.
You can find the space of freedom, which is the space of non-expectation. And then what happens, happens. And also, this does not exclude your doing what you feel motivated to do in the field of action, whether it's supporting this candidate, contributing, work in the phone banks, et cetera, et cetera.
Right. It's not defeatist.
It's not defeatist.
It can be very active.
Yeah. That's the cliche, the stereotype of the passive, blissful vegetable meditator. You know,
Right.
that's the cliche. That's the stereotype. It's not the reality.
It was great.
Yeah, good, good,
It
good, good.
was quite a journey, though. It was really
Yeah,
more than
yeah.
I,
But
I
what I love hearing is that it was challenging to you, but you hung in with it.
it was hard.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah, but it was great.
yeah, yeah. And I'm very interested to hear from you. You know, next week, having had the taste of this,
Hmm.
and then the applying that in life.
Okay,
Okay,
I'll report back.
so remind me, report back. Good, good, good. Okay, yeah. Kelly, please.
Yeah, I think it's a wonderful practice for the releasing tension.
Yeah, good, good, good. Yeah, that simple.
Mhm.
We can be tense or we can be loose. I prefer loose. For
Me-
as my mother would say, for the same money, right? And then it would be whatever for the like I'd be standing around. She'd say, you know, for the same money you could sit down. Right? So for the same money you can be loose.
Thank you.
Yeah, good. Thank you. Good. Anyone else? Yes, please, Beth.
Thank you. I was unexpectedly very tense.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what resonated was sometimes the news is on for several hours in our home.
Mm-hmm.
And I usually leave the room, but sometimes I don't
Mm-hmm.
because I'm told that I need to stay informed. So
Mm.
this will help me just take it and release because I sometimes just watching it all just
Mm-hmm.
does me in. So
Yeah.
this will be a good little practice for me.
Yeah. You know, that word informed is very interesting. You know, when we're informed, we are in form, right?
Ah,
Right? Our thoughts, our consciousness, our feelings are put into a form, into a shape,
formed.
right?
Yeah,
And
that's
that
a
and it can
good.
be a very uncomfortable shape, especially these days. So what we do when we relax the grip on that is we are relaxing out into formlessness. We are becoming uninformed or we're becoming unformed.
Mm,
And when we're unformed, we don't have edges, we don't have boundaries, we're boundless. And oh my God, it's a relief.
yes. The other point I wanted to make is that because I remember my dreams almost every night,
Mm.
and I've really worked on lucid dreaming,
Mm-hmm.
and I found that when I wake up, it's almost like after a meditation or after yoga, I have to take some time before I get going. Um,
Mm.
because otherwise I get caught in what happened in that dream for like an hour or two. So I
Oh
have
yeah.
to almost bring myself back. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. That is interesting. It's yeah. And again, this is different stuff happening for different people at different times. And I think a really kind of common beginner's level experience of that is people, for some reason, it seems to be a fairly common thing. You're in a dream, you'll be like in an argument with someone or in a fight with someone, and then you wake up and you're still mad at them, and you're ready to pick up the phone and continue the argument. You have to go, oh wait a minute, wait, let me get my bearings here. That was just a dream. Yep.
But
Good.
thank you for the practice.
You bet. You bet. Thank you. Good. Anyone else on this? Okay, well, that means it must be kirtan time. So I thought tonight we've I know we've done some mantra of um, Sita and Ram, And I think I spoke about this a little bit last week, how, they come out of the great epic, the Ramayana. They're kind of the, two halves of they're the like the individual self longing for the infinite, Rama longing for Sita, Sita longing for Rama. And in the story, what brings them together, what helps bring them together, is a third character called Hanuman. And Hanuman is a monkey. He's kind of a monkey, kind of a god, kind of a superhero. But he's got all the wonderful qualities of a monkey. He's playful. Also, this monkey is completely devoted to Rama and Sita, and he winds up doing all these amazing things where he flies through the sky and helps subdue all these demons, and finally helps bring them back together. And I think what that signifies is how we do it, how we bring the thing together. And we do it kind of like being a monkey, being relaxed, being playful, being strong and skillful. And in the case of Hanuman, he's devoted. You'll see pictures of him there sometimes where he's ripping his chest open. You see statues of this all over India, ripping his chest open, and to show how in his heart there's the eternal image of Rama and Sita together, united. Okay? So how do you do it? How do you bring the feeling of being a limited self together with the infinite? How do you bring together the finite and the infinite? Devotion, playfulness. Hanuman. So this one uses, there's a different way to say Sita. Sometimes you leave out the T, so it's Sia. J or Jaya means victory. It's like viva. It's like long, okay, yay team Sia and Ram, Sita and Ram brought together by who? Hanuman. Jai Siya Ram, Jai Jaya Jai Hanuman. Jai Siya Ram, Jai 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 Jai Hanuman. Ram Ram Sita Ram Ram Ram. Hare Ram 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 Sita Ram Ram Ram. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Sita Ram, 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 Ram Ram. Hare Ram. So may all beings be happy. Find that happiness that's
you.
always available, always right here, just by relaxing their grip into its expanse. No matter what. No matter what. And thus may peace prevail everywhere. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you so much.
Yeah.
Dean.
Thanks, Dean.
Thank you.
See ya. Enjoy being
Thank you.
Thanks, Dean.